It's a process that takes time.
We have several phases of what you might call green buds that the trees go through. One is just green buds. The other is when the florets are visible.
University of Washington PhD candidate Autumn Moss spends each winter collecting data for a spring phenomenon, the cherry blossom bloom.
I love the pink and white fluffy clouds of blossoms that pop in. It's spectacular.
UW scientists have been working to perfect a metric that will better predict the timing of the bloom. Their final research is now in review, set to be published this spring. The bloom research started in 2012, but to better understand the timing, students pulled historic data and visuals dating back to the mid-1960s.
There are two goals for this research project. One is to be able to predict with a certain degree of certainty when bloom will occur. And the second was to determine if there were any detectable shifts in when the bloom was occurring historically, dating back from 1966 to present. So are we seeing any changes in the bloom time through that 60-year time period?
This new research finalizes a tool that puts a metric on when the bloom will occur, which is used in tandem with the 10-day forecast. The second part of the research shows that the bloom timing is inching sooner thanks to warming weather.
As the climate continues to get warmer in the Pacific Northwest, the warming part is not a problem. It's reaching the sort of warming units that the trees need at an accelerated pace than they have historically. However, because our winters are so mild in the Pacific Northwest, they are also getting warmer. And so it's becoming harder for those trees to accrue the chilling units that they need.
The bloom now hits roughly a week and a half earlier than it did 60 years ago because of that warming trend. As Autumn wraps up her studies this spring, she says these findings should be a lesson for all who cherish these cherry trees.
The warming climate does have long and far-reaching effects on really everything that's going on, from both natural landscapes to horticultural landscapes like this one.
Now, warmer weather will get us to that bloom faster, but once it hits, we want cool, mild weather with no rain to help preserve the blooms as long as possible. Depending on if we get those ideal conditions, peak bloom can last anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
But everyone wants to know when. What's the status of bloom timing right now?
And this is really interesting, actually. So initially, when I spoke to Autumn, she said they were expecting it to be next week, but as we know, it's been cold, it's been rainy, it's been wet. So now they're estimating, because of that lack of sunlight now, they think it'll be actually even later than that. At this point, they're thinking it'll start in about 2 weeks.
Does that mean it'll last longer?
Not necessarily.
Darn it.
I wish. We need the mild weather for it to last longer.